With us today. Appreciate all of you being here with us today. If I could, I'd like to read the announcements of it. We'll move right on into the agenda for today. If you're not satisfied with the decision made by Traffic and Parking Commission, you may appeal the decision by filing a writ of certiorari with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of the entry of the Commission's decision. We advise that you seek your own independent legal advice to ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met. Members of the Commission, we need approval of the agenda for today.
So moved.
Have a first?
Second.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes meeting of August the 12th, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
So moved. Approved. The consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda will be voted at a single time. No individual public hearing will be held, nor will the Commission debate these items unless a member of the audience or the Commission requests that the items be heard from the consent agenda. Chip, you want to move on to the new business?
Yes, sir. We have some visitors here today, and if it's all the same to everyone else, let's skip that, put that at the end. That's right.
All right, and we are glad to have a council lady here from the 22nd District. Sherry Weiner is here. Item number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is appeal the denial of a traffic signal at Sonia Drive and Old Hickory Boulevard, requested by Council Member Sherry Weiner. Anyone that desires to speak on this issue, we would like for you to come to the podium over here, and we also need for you to sign in, give us your name, address, phone number. But anyone that would like to speak on this, Council Lady, would you like to speak first?
Please. I would like to introduce you to my friend, Emma Bradshaw. Emma is the reason...
You need to go.
over there. Sorry about that. I'm just a bit...
Either way, it's fine.
Emma, I'm going to leave you there. Sorry about that. I'm Council Lady Sherry Weiner from the Bellevue District 22, and this area resides in my district. It borders District 23, which is the responsibility of Council Lady Emily Evans. Emma is a 9-year-old who loves stuffed animals, obviously. She loves cupcakes. She loves doing all the good little girl things. For the last several months, she has been limited to Vanderbilt Hospital. She is the latest in a string of accidents at this location. At the time that the accident occurred, Emma was grave. And when the call went out from the media, everybody thought that Emma was dead on the scene. And what this child has endured and what she has gone through is nothing short of miraculous. I really don't want there to be any more Emmas. I myself left that location this afternoon on the way here and I almost got hit. For the people that live in the apartments that border this area, for the people that frequent Sam's, for the people that go to the MAPCO over there, for the people that try to traverse from Gower School, which is just on the other side of the interstate, it's virtually impossible to turn onto Old Hickory from any direction. And the speeding there is problematic, and I would just really, appreciate your support in being able to approve the placement of a traffic light there.
Thank you. Anyone else desiring to speak for or against? You're doing good so far, Council Lady. Commissioners? Oh,
Good.
I'm the mother of Emma. The last 3 months has been life-changing. It's been a huge struggle. And no other child or adult, anybody, should have to go through what she went through. I just beg you, please approve this measure so we can put something in place so that this doesn't happen to anybody else. Thank you.
Sir, give us your name
I'm Randy Bradshaw.
and address.
I live in Seattle, Washington. I flew out here for this hearing because it's that important. I almost lost my granddaughter, and I can't imagine what it would have done to my daughter if she'd lost her child. There's a lot of people to thank for the reason why she's here, including my daughter quitting her job and moving into the hospital and giving up her apartment. She dedicated her life for 3 months to get her back to where she'd walk. People didn't think she was going to walk ever again. I've been by there. I've talked by the businesses. We know there's been 8 accidents this past year. You can't let this continue to happen. So if you vote this yes, you're going to save a lot of lives. So we thank you.
Okay. Thank you for coming to Tennessee.
I love it.
Anyone else desiring to speak?
Mr. Chairman, I would move the approval of the denial, the appeal for the denial.
Second.
Have a first and a second. Chip, anything you'd like to say before we vote on it?
Well, first of all, thank you, Emma, for coming today, and family. It's, when we first looked at this signal, we engineers have these guidelines we have to go by, and there are numbers you have to look at, and you count cars, and you look at accidents and that sort of thing. And then I talked to some of the people here and some people in the media and said, we're going to count it again once school starts. And so, long story short, we did count the number of vehicles entering and exiting Sonia Drive, and we're a hair short on meeting the warrants. I wanted that to help you out making this decision today. We meet 7 hours. We're required, or we should meet 8. We're this close. You've heard me say that before. When we're that close, it can change in a season or in a couple of months when there's an event out there or something. So what I'm saying is, even though the numbers might not add up, there are other factors that you have to consider, and the numbers might be there 6 months from now and just weren't there the day we counted. So my recommendation is to take all this into consideration as commissioners. The signal would help the AM and PM peaks. That's the thing we're most concerned about. And it would provide a crosswalk for the people in the area. That's where I'll leave it before just saying flat out I recommend this signal.
Okay. I realize we've got a first and a second, but I've been out there and sat across the street, and when you've got traffic coming from 4 ramps off of I-40, plus they're coming from Highway 70, when they get to that ramp to get on 40 headed into town, that traffic is moving. And to a lot of people, you may not realize, but up at the top of Sonia Drive, there is 507 units up there that's coming out on to Old Hickory Boulevard. And plus, you have a church up there also. But we have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
100% approved. Thank you, young lady, for being here. Thank you, council lady.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate it.
If I might, Mr. Chairman, I drove up there yesterday on a Sunday when everybody should have been home watching the Titans play. The traffic was absolutely, again, on a Sunday, unbelievable. I would be concerned because we will have a number of apartment complexes in that area. I have one that came to my house early this afternoon about people who are sort of stuck in the area and they can't get out because they're going against traffic. So we ought to be aware that that's going to be coming before this commission again.
Okay.
That type of situation.
Thank you. Let's move on to the consent agenda. Item number 2. For Proposal number 2013M-013AB001, a request to abandon a portion of alley number 114, the easement and utilities to be relocated from Demumbrium Street northward approximately 178 feet to the southerly property line of map and parcel number 093-100-11700, requested by Barge, Wagner, Sumner, and Cannon. Chip, do you have anything to say about that? This will have to be a hand vote, commissioners.
No, we're recommending approval on these. Again, these are just you guys making a recommendation to council. So we don't use the alley. I think we have some reps from Barge Wagner here today if we have any direct questions for them, but we're recommending approval.
Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand. 100%.
Oh, yeah. Make the motion.
I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Have a first and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, still 100%, isn't it? Well, thank you. All right, number B, Resolution 913, authorize a traffic signal at Highway 70 and Bellevue Road. Authorize an always stop on Crossing Boulevard and Old Franklin Road. Authorize a stop sign on Spirit Drive and Landale Drive. Modify the existing yield sign to a stop sign on Laura Jones Drive and Wilford Pack Road. Authorize no left turn on Korean Veterans Boulevard at 2nd Avenue from 4 to 6 p.m. Authorize a no left turn on Korean Vet Boulevard at 3rd Avenue from 4 to 6 p.m. Install a no parking anytime on both sides of 5th Avenue South from Lafayette Street to Ash Street. Install a taxi-only loading zone on the east side of 5th Avenue South from Ash Street to 200 feet south of Ash Street. Install a no parking anytime on both sides of Ewing Avenue to 200 feet south of Lafayette Street. Install no parking at any time on the east side of 6th Avenue South, 190 feet south of Lafayette Street. Do I have a first and a second?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
100%. Report, parking.
The parking and engineering reports are included in your agenda packet.
Engineering.
Your agenda packet. Same thing.
Same thing?
It just talks about how many requests we've received and turned over this year and how many plans we've reviewed.
Okay. Old business. Remove no truck sign on Georgia Avenue between 45th Avenue and 46th Avenue. Commissioners?
Well, we've got, last month we deferred this for 1 month. The councilman wanted to remove the sign and the neighborhood did not want to remove the sign, and we said, hold on, let's come back in a month and figure this out. Well, during that month, the councilman withdrew his request to remove the sign, but now the applicant, the trucking company, wants to appeal that. So he'd like to come in next month and give his story on why he wants the signs removed. So I'm requesting a 1-month deferral again to the October meeting.
So just so I understand this correctly,
Help me out.
the trucking company guy now wants the signs removed himself. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
he was behind the Councilman Baker.
Oh, okay.
request.
All right.
And Councilman Baker wanted to withdraw it from the agenda, just kind of step away and let things take its course. And the gentleman at the company wants to come on in and talk to you.
Oh, okay. Motion to defer?
Do I have a second?
I second.
Second. All in favor, defer in 1 month?
1 month.
Yes, sir.
Do we need to say how long the deferral is?
For 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, deferral for 1 month.
I second.
Have a second from John. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Other business. Request to discuss the Nashville Downtown Partnership Public Square Garage, Parking Garage Agreement.
Mr. Tom Turner with the Nashville Downtown Partnership is here to discuss this agreement with the commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Okay, please give us your name.
Great agenda. Tom Turner, Nashville Downtown Partnership.
Okay.
The partnership operates both the Public Square Garage and Library Garage under contract with Metro through the Traffic and Parking Commission. The Public Square Garage has some open space. There is a tenant that has looked at the Regents Building, what was formerly known as the Regents Building, would soon to be known as UBS Tower. And we're looking at, they want some certainty in their parking, and they've asked for a longer term agreement than month to month on approximately 125 parking spaces. And we're effectively asking for approval to execute that. It would be for the basically through June of 2015. It's 125 spaces at a rate of $100. The going rate is $115. Because we have open spaces, we think it's a reasonable approach to wrap them up. The bonus for downtown is it takes the lease occupancy of that building from basically 32% up to 50%, and we hope we'll jumpstart the leasing of the rest of the building. Be happy to take any questions you all might have.
What's the occupancy rate of the garage at the present time?
The garage has 1,200 spaces, and on a typical weekday, you're going to have about 115 spaces open.
And you said the going rate per space is 100?
115.
115, and what are we?
This would be for 100. Keep in mind the bonus here is that when you have a space now and somebody comes in and takes it, and you're dealing with one person. On this, you're dealing with one entity for 125 spaces.
And for how long? Till 2015?
2015. And I believe this would be going to the Metro Council on September the 17th. Yes, sir.
Councilman?
Is there any particular level that they'll be on, or they'll
No.
be allowed to park anywhere?
Yep, open space. Obviously, they can't park in the nested area that's reserved for judges and others, but yeah, it'll be open space.
And it's Monday through Friday? Is there a restriction on?
It's a typical agreement. It's a round-the-clock agreement. Yeah, we did not restrict anything because of their type of operation. We're to support
So even on
service.
event days and things like that?
But keep in mind on event days, even on Titans games, because of location, access and ingress and egress of that garage, it typically doesn't fill up as close as it is. It's hard to get in and out of. Well, you know access and egress.
I make a motion we're amending the agreement, is that correct, counsel? Legal counsel?
What you all are actually doing is you are recommending a resolution to the Metropolitan Council to amend the agreement between the Metropolitan Government by and through the Traffic and Parking Commission with the Downtown Partnership. And the amendment, the substance of the amendment is basically one paragraph that says that you all are delegating to the partnership the authority to enter into this agreement for parking with UBS.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Is this the only such agreement?
Do you want to explain that, John?
So it sounds like I make a motion that this commission approve this amendment to the agreement so that the partnership can enter into this agreement with the tenant in the new building.
I just have one more question. Is this the first type of agreement for the parking garage you entered to?
There's an additional agreement at this garage. There's also, we manage the library garage, there are also agreements at the garage as well that have been in existence for since the Renaissance Tower went up.
And it's typical they're about 2-year agreements?
It just depends. I think it varies. This one is going to that one is longer. This one goes to the end of our management contract, which is what the authority that we have.
Okay.
So it goes through June of 2015.
June of 2015. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
We have a motion. Did we get a second?
Second motion.
Have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I serve on the board of the Nashville Downtown Partnership, and I'm also on their executive board, so I think it might be best that I recuse myself from the voting on this.
Okay. All right. Have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Commissioners, anyone have anything to say?
Oh, we always have something.
Captain? Motion adjourned. Appreciate everybody being here today.